Hello, I'm Viggy Parhampton, and welcome to Tag Team Tales of Terror, where another horror author and I work together to create something short and diabolical. Today, for my inaugural episode, I've tagged award winning author Nick Botic. After becoming one of the top contributors to the nearly 15 million member horror literature Reddit community R No Sleep, Nick began publishing books featuring his own work and that of other authors under NBH Publishing. He has written over 100 short stories and series, including the viral award winning hit Daughter's Drawings, which, if you haven't yet had the pleasure of reading it, obviously go ahead and check that out.
Thank you
Welcome,
so
Nick.
much. Thank you. That was such a cool intro. I
What did I
wait,
miss? Because I'm sure that was not everything.
I mean, that pretty much covers, like, the major points of me as a writer. Um,
Perfect.
yeah, no, that was thank you very much. I like that. I want more people to do intros for me.
Excellent. Well, luckily you have a really intensive website, so I was just able to pull all of that from there. Easy.
Cool, yeah. I haven't updated in a very long time. I need to get back on that. I think that might have been one of my New Year's resolutions that I have already failed on.
Well, it's only January 15th. You still got plenty of time.
True, I got a little while left, yeah.
Well, let's get into a little bit of the rules of the game. So, Tag Team Tales of Terror is a progressive story where we alternate telling bits of the story until we reach some sort of satisfying conclusion. So, we each get 30 seconds before we switch. So, I'll have a timer up in the corner. Just keep your eye on that. And at 30 seconds, we'll just switch off. I will have a prompt that I draw from this hat to get us started. I have no idea what it is. So, I mean, I created the prompts, but I don't know what we're going to get. So, as my guest, you get to start us off, which I'm sorry, that's definitely the harder job. And if you
Oh,
want like
man.
a pen and paper to jot things down as we go or
That's a
not,
good
whatever works for
idea.
you.
It's a very
And
good
I might
idea.
throw in some like reactions as we go. So
Okay.
we're aiming for 10 minutes. If it's shorter than that, it's fine. If it's longer than that, it's fine. We're just gonna see how this goes.
All right. Let's give
So
it a shot.
yeah, let's give it a shot. And then after putting you through that, I have a little surprise for you.
Sounds good.
So any questions before we get started?
I don't think so. Excuse me. I am just astonishingly nervous. There's a reason my output is less Stephen King and more Ted Klein. I'm trying to think of a writer who's great but hasn't. Well, that sounded so arrogant. I'm not trying to call myself great. That sounded. I quit. I quit. Nope. Nope. Let's play the game.
You've written over 100 short stories. I don't think you don't need to be
I guess,
modest.
yeah, but since I since I started writing professionally, my output has gone so far down
I
because
get
like,
that
yeah,
actually. The
it's
same thing happened to me. I
yeah,
I wrote a ton and then I started publishing and I'm like, where do I have the time to write?
yeah, exactly. Like it's crazy when you're actually doing it like as a living or part of a living. Like there's so much more to it than just sitting down and putting words on a page.
I know, just like the outlining, the conception, all the marketing that you have to do for yourself.
Yeah, market it. Yeah, just putting yourself out there in general, and then
Mhm.
submitting itself. Like the act of submitting takes way more time than I ever would have expected.
It
'Cause
does.
every outlet has different, like, submission guidelines and specifications for and yeah, it's just I love it all, don't get me wrong, I'm very, like,
Mhm.
grateful that I get to do all these things, it's a
Totally.
lot.
It is a lot. Well, hopefully this will be a lot in a different kind of fun way.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna put the timer up just to make sure we can see it. Well, I'll start it as soon as we're ready to go. So the
Cool.
first thing we'll do is we'll pull something out of this hat. Okay, and I have all kinds of weird topics in here, so let's just see. Okay, this one is you've been abducted by aliens. So I'll give you a
Alien.
little bit of time. Like, tell me when you're ready, and we'll start.
Okay, so and then I did actually have one question. So,
Sure.
are we telling the story as, like, traditional prose kinda thing?
It can be
Or
whatever you want. I will follow your lead.
okay, alright. So, I have been abducted by aliens.
Yep. There's a lot of ways to go with that.
Yeah. Alright, let's give this a shot.
Okay. We're in this
Alright,
together. You're not alone. It's gonna be
okay.
okay. Okay, I'm gonna start it. Here we go.
My eyes opened and I could the first thing I could s my eyes opened and the first thing my senses took in was the smell. It was pure sterility. When I finally got my bearings and started looking around, It was sterile, but not in the typical hospital way. Everything was a shining silver. Oh,
The shining silver really nailed itself into my irises, and I had to close my eyes because I was getting a headache. Curiously, I couldn't feel any other part of my body. I could get the smell, but I couldn't feel my limbs, and for a second I was worried, were they even still there? The last thing I remembered before waking up here was going to get McDonald's. And as I thought about that, I realized I was ravenously hungry, but I had a feeling that they weren't going to have anything I would wanna eat in whatever place I was.
to the sound of my stomach growling, I started taking accounting of my surroundings. I I wiggled my fingers, I wiggled my toes, thankful my limbs were indeed still intact, and then I finally sat up. I found myself on a metal table in the center of an otherwise completely empty room that I could see no walls.
I was terrified at first because looking around, there were no walls and everything just sort of receded into a darkness. And I thought, where could I possibly be that is this large that I can't see the walls? I mean, I remembered a bright light right as I was on my way to McDonald's because everybody loves a Big Mac. And then nothing after that until now. And then as I looked off into the abyss, I started to hear something. I started to hear footsteps.
My heart started pounding in my chest, and I looked around in all directions because that's where it sounded like the footsteps were coming from. I looked to my left, I looked to my right, behind me, in front of me. There were footsteps coming in all directions, but only a single set. I don't know what prompted me to do it. The word came up just without my own, not of my own volition, and I just called out, "Hello, who's there?"
I didn't really expect there to be any answer, but as soon as I uttered the words, I heard something clear its throat, and it said, "We brought you here for a very specific purpose. You are the only one that we've ever really needed, and we're so lucky we found you." Of course, I was terrified that they said we, because who else was involved in this horrible thing? And then as the footsteps got closer and closer, I took a deep breath because whatever it was about to come into the light.
I felt the hair on my arm stand up as I knew it was nearing me, but I still couldn't see it. It was like the shadows were following it, but there was no light source to be giving these shadows out. It was I don't like that. So I determined the direction it was coming from and I looked towards it and I still can't explain what I was seeing. There was a form, but there wasn't. There was a person, but there wasn't.
It was almost like looking into a black hole. I knew there was something there, but every time I tried to focus my eyes on it, my vision went blurry. And as I was looking at it, it spoke again from what I don't know because it didn't seem to have a mouth. And it said, "We have a very specific task for you. If we're going to be able to infiltrate your society, there's something that we need from you, and only you can do it. So we're going to get you off this table and we're going to talk about what it is we need you to do."
I was frozen in fear just like I was when I'd first woken up, once again unable to feel my limbs. And I said the only thing I could think to ask, which was infiltrate our society. And the thing replied, the thing replied with just a subtle, quiet laughter, which just which made my bones hurt. And again, my stomach growled.
And the thing said, we've always been here, but we went away for a while. And when we came back, we realized that Earth is really going downhill. We need to get back in control here. And since you're the only one with a specific rare genetic mutation you probably don't even realize you have, you're the one we need because you're the one we need to breed our army. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to bring you back into this room and we're going to get started doing that.
Of course, my mind started racing. I hear breeding and I think of livestock, and I suddenly wish, somewhat selfishly, that I wasn't the only one here having to endure this. Why was it me? How could I have a genetic mutation that no one else in the history of the planet has ever had? And I asked, what exactly is this mutation that I have that no one else does?
That's when the thing answered me and said, "You probably don't realize this, but you came from a very long line of our kind. We've been here a very long time, but you're the last one. And if we're going to take back over the world quietly, you don't have to worry so much about that. It's not going to hurt too much," which of course terrified me because whenever anybody says that, it will always hurt very bad. And then the thing said, "Don't worry, it's going to be okay. We're just going to take you into this back room and we're going to get started."
I didn't know what to say, so I didn't say anything. Again, not exactly of my own volition. I felt the thing, with a hand that was and wasn't there, gently grab me by the arm and guide me to my feet. Though there was only one of it, I was both walking in front of and behind it as it led me to a room that not far from where the table I had woken up on, there was a door that was not there before.
We passed through the door, and my heart was beating so fast, I felt the walls shaking with it. And as the thing pushed me slowly into the room, and the pressure on my back was like nothing I'd felt before, it was slimy and hot, and like some sort of worm had crawled up inside of my skin. And as we entered the room, I saw walls of syringes, walls of tanks with something horrible floating in what I presume to be formaldehyde.
There was a small bench at the side that had straps to it, and the thing took me there and spun me around, sat me down, and in all of a second, I was fully strapped in, my ankles bound, my wrists bound, my arms spread out wide, and I all I could do was let the tears fall from my eyes. I had never been so scared. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. I didn't know who I would scream to or what I would be screaming for.
The thing came closer to me and said, "I'm glad you're crying. We actually do need to collect your tears as well. So go ahead and keep doing that." And as I continued to cry, because what else could I do? The thing reached for one of the giant syringes and started creeping closer and closer toward me. I let loose that horrible scream. And as I did, I thought I could hear echoes echoing down the halls and possibly being returned by, were there other people here?
The thing said, "You have three options for the injection site. None of them are going to be pleasant. None of them are going to be better than any of the others. We can do behind your knee, in front of your knee, or in your elbow." Not knowing which one I should pick and trying to figure out in all of a second which one would be the least painful, I started muttering and I accidentally said all three of the options. And he said, "No, no, we're only going to do one." Sorry.
It's okay. And I decided, you know what? That's okay. Let's just go with the front of the knee. That was actually the worst possible choice I could have picked. As he rammed the giant needle into my kneecap, I felt my knee break. And I thought, there is absolutely no way I am walking out of here alive or possibly just walking ever again. And the only thing I could think of as I screamed is there has to be someone else who hears me. There has to be someone else.
I felt the I felt the rest of the bones in my legs shatter, and my screams echoed through the corridor, down blending with the other ones that I'd been hearing while this was happening to me. And when I finally was able to make an actual word, I screamed, "Is anyone else there?" And then I heard, "Yes."
And as I heard that, I screamed at the entity, "You said there was only one of me. You said there was only one of me." And they said, "Well, there was only one of you. You have no idea how long you've been here, do you? We're actually already making our army, and you're the last one we need to complete it."
I mean, is that the end? That was a solid ending.
I think that's the end.
That was crazy. Okay, you are very good at this.
Oh, thank you.
You're so
That
much better at thinking on your feet than I am. That was nerve-wracking for me. That was awesome. Like,
was fun. I think that's
that
a good
was very
story.
fun. That was yeah, it was a yeah, right? That was a good story.
I
I
had no
kept I
idea where
kept
that was
getting tripped
going.
up, I'm sorry, like, that,
No, you did a great job.
thank
I
you.
practiced this with my mom, and it went okay, and I'm like, "Okay, horror authors can do this, like, we think of creepy stuff all the time."
Yeah.
So, that was good, I like that.
That was yeah, like, it's crazy, like, that was a beginning, middle, and an end of a story.
Yeah,
That was
and
really cool.
alien abductions are not really my thing.
Same here. I
I
don't
mean,
think I've
I'll
ever
read some
written
cosmic horror, but I that's it's just not my thing, so it's fun to,
yeah.
like, get outside of our genre.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I love cosmic horror, but I don't really write, like, that style of cosmic horror. I do more like small town cosmic horrors and, like I mean, you might have seen a little bit of that with the entity that was there and not there at the same time, like
Yeah,
the incomprehensible, that kinda thing. That's more my bread and butter, but alien abductions are I do like alien movies, like, a
I do,
lot,
yeah.
like, alien abduction movies. There's this really crappy found footage movie called Alien Abduction that is, like, a guilty pleasure of mine.
I
I
love crappy movies, like,
yeah,
especially
right?
bad horror movies. I
Oh,
love them so
yeah,
much.
for sure. They're yeah. It's a genre unlike any other. Even when it's bad, it's good.
That's so true. People don't understand that. They just don't understand that.
Yeah, like, it's I feel like I don't mind a good, like, rom-com, like, I'll read a romantic comedy book, but, like, when they're bad, like, they are bad, and same with the movies, like, the but with horror, yeah, I don't know, it really seems like there is something for everyone in horror.
I
Sorry, I'm
always think
getting off
that, and
tangent.
no, I've always said that. I totally agree with you because there are people I'm sure you get this all the time who are like, "I wanna support you, but I'm scared. I'm not gonna read your book. I don't read horror."
Yep.
I always think, "Well, I just don't think you found the right horror for you," because horror is for everybody.
Yeah, it's the most accessible genre for sure, like, even if like, because I feel like for some people, rightfully so, they'll be like, "Well, I don't like, blood and gore and all this and that," and I'm like, "I totally get that. I agree, I'm not a huge fan of that myself, but, like, there's so much horror that has not a lick of that in it." And, yeah,
So true.
I
I
love
mean,
horror.
I love horror too. I like to write body horror, which you probably got, or like medical horror.
Mhm.
I really
Yeah,
like that. You
I
might have
did
gotten
get that,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
And I mean,
awesome.
I think our story was scary. I would be terrified if I woke up and people are like, "I'm gonna ram a needle into your knee."
You know what's crazy? So, I was gonna the front of the knee is where I was going to go initially, and then for whatever reason, I thought like, "Oh, I'll present the options." I was so happy you picked the front of the knee. Like, that was I yeah, that was the worst one to me. That sounded
Yeah.
terrible.
I mean, maybe going in the eye, that would be equally horrible, or the
Yeah,
ear.
for sure, and, I thought of that, and I'm like, "I wanna go a little bit different on that one."
Yeah, no, I liked it. I liked that.
Yeah, that was a good story. That was so
Well,
much fun.
oh, should we title that? I hadn't even thought about this. We should come up with a
Ah,
title for that. Hmm.
extraction?
I like that.
Or, like, extraction and then a letter? Like,
Hmm,
no,
yes.
no, yeah.
Or like a number? Hmm.
Yeah, because I guess, like, going into the s because if you're going into the story blind and you know the title is Extraction 84,
Mhm.
you might and I might only be saying this because I know the end of the story, but would it maybe make you think that he's not the only one there right off top? Know what I
That's
mean?
a good point. That's a good point. I'm fine
Yeah.
with just extraction. I like that.
Cool. That works.
That's good. I like yeah, coming up with a title. How do you come up with your titles? Because mine, sometimes the title comes first and then the story, and then other times I have to think and think and think to come up with a title.
So, for me, as you read in my bio, I got started writing on no sleep, and titles are a huge thing for the success of a post there, or, like, a story there. And the classic No Sleep title is so the original title for Daughter's Drawings, which I'll tell you how I got that title in a minute. So the original title for that was My Family Has Been Stalked for the Past 4 Years. That was the title of the
Ooh.
story. So and then I have other ones, like another popular one of mine was, There Are People Showing Up Outside My House During Blackouts. My
Mm.
wife keeps digging holes at night. Like, stuff like that, like, it gives, like, a kind of almost a topic sentence in a way.
Yeah.
Um, so anyways, when I started writing Daughter's Drawings and I needed traditional a more traditional literary title, um, I had been describing people would be like, "Oh, what's the book you're working on?" I was like, "Oh, it's an expansion of the story about of my story about the Daughter's Drawings." So then I just
Mm.
kinda shortened it to Daughter's Drawings. So
That
and
makes
then
sense.
I also have, like I've probably titled 100 books I haven't written yet. Like I
I've done
do.
that too. I write them down
Yeah.
like, "This would be a good title."
Yeah, right? Like, I know that I do know the name of my next collection that I'm gonna put out.
Can you share it? Give us, like, a sneak peek or no?
Yeah, yeah. I think I should say I think I'm gonna be calling it A Corpse by Any Other Name.
Ooh, I like that.
I think. Thank you. Yeah.
That's
I
a good one.
I don't know where I heard that, but I was like, that'd be a good title. Now I just gotta write a story that is called that as well.
Yeah, yeah, no big deal. That's the easy part, right?
Yeah, you work backwards.
Well, I don't know about you, but all of that thinking made me hungry. So now I'm going to present you with the surprise that I made for you.
Yes,
It
please.
is since you obviously have no idea what it is a recipe based off of daughter's drawings just for you.
Okay.
So, for all of you at home, if you've read Nick's fabulous book, then you know we have to do some mashed potatoes here. Like we have to. But
Yes.
they are not your average Daisy's Diner quality. No. These are fancy mashed potatoes. I'm going to describe them. So they've got peas. I don't know your feelings about peas, but I love peas in my mashed potatoes. Give it some texture. They've got blue cheese, which whether you love it or hate it, like it is fancy. Can we agree it's fancy?
That's fair. I'll give you that.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of blue cheese, but yeah, I'll concede that it is indeed fancy.
A little fancy. And then we bake them in these individual little ramekins, so everybody has their own until they're
Mhm.
like really golden brown and crispy on top and super delicious. Like, is
That
your mouth
sounds
watering
so
yet?
good.
Does that
Yeah,
sound good?
yes, literally, yes. That sounds so good. I love mashed potatoes. I mean, there's a reason I put it in the book
Of
specifically.
course.
Like,
And then
I
but the last thing we need, because every dish needs, like, a little hat, we're gonna put some chopped chives on there, and it's
oh,
gonna give some
yes.
color and some texture, and it's gonna be absolutely delicious.
That sounds amazing. I would absolutely eat that. That
Well,
sounds
actually, so today is my birthday, and I asked my mom to make
oh
this
my
for my
god.
birthday because I love it, so I will be eating that tonight, and I will report back on how delicious it is.
Yes, please do, and happy birthday. I'm so
Oh, thank
sorry.
you.
Like, yeah, this
This Don't be sorry, this is, like, a perfect thing to do for my
I feel
birthday. I'm
honored.
like, I wanna make up a horror story and talk about horror on my birthday. Of course I do.
For sure. Well, I'm happy that I was able to celebrate it with you.
Me too. And I will be including this recipe in the show notes for those who want to enjoy the perfect snack or meal while reading daughter's drawings.
Awesome.
And
I'm
last
gonna ask
thing,
my
so
fiance to make it.
yeah, you should. I mean, it's really easy and you can leave the blue cheese out if you don't like it. Or you can put in
Okay.
cheddar cheese or any kind of cheese you like. It's
All
personal.
right.
And where can people find you and keep up with you and your work?
So I am, like you said earlier, my website does, even though it hasn't been updated in a while, it does have all my stuff on it, nickbotic.com. And then I am everywhere at Nick Botic, Facebook, uh, Twitter, Instagram, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/nickbotic. I got my podcast, This Weird House, is on there,
Hmm,
and everywhere else you get podcasts, but the video is on YouTube. And yeah, if people want to talk to me, I like talking to people, especially about myself. So please feel free
it's
to reach
always
out.
easy.
Oh,
Yeah.
and all my stuff is on Amazon. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Oh, thank you. This was like truly awesome. I really wasn't sure. I mean, I was looking forward to it. I knew it was going to be fun, but I wasn't sure how it was going to go. And that was a very fun way of telling a story. I'm excited to see where your show goes.